What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Leopazzo Productions. Thank you very much for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be having a closer look at this brand new light here by Colbor. It is the CL60. This is a bicolor LED light which allows us to adjust the color spectrum from 2700 all the way up to 6500. It also includes a mobile app that we can download for free, and we can control the light, the intensity, the spectrum, and also the effects that are included. I believe there's approximately 10 different effects. We can adjust the intensity from 0 to 100%. We also can adjust the effects color Kelvin spectrum because it allows us to change it. For an example, if we want to do lightning, we're not just going to be limited to a 6500 color temperature. We can also adjust it to 2700, and that goes as far as majority of the other effects that are preset inside of this LED light. Again, I just purchased this light about a week ago, so it's only been a few days now that I've been using it, and I have been enjoying it. And today in this video, I just wanted to give you guys my overall thoughts and opinion of using this light now for the last week or so, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the cool features about this lighting. And I have to mention, one of the coolest effects about this light is the fact that we can purchase up to another 9 of these lights, so 10 of them in total, and they can literally mount to each other side by side on top, and we can have a nice big light source if we wanted to. So that is just fantastic, because now we can also control this big light via the app. So I only purchased one, unfortunately, for now, just to kind of test it out and see how it is, and I've been definitely impressed with it. So I wouldn't be surprised in the near future that I purchased at least another 2 more of these lights. Wherever you want to kind of position them, you can again set them into different groups. For an example, set this one as the transmitter, so whatever I set the app, it's going to tell this light what to do. And if I set the other lights to receiver, the RX, it's now going to transfer that signal, that information via the Bluetooth from this light, which will be the transmitter, to the other lights. So if you're going to be at a greater distance, more than 10 meters, it does recommend in the manual to set 1 or 2 of the other lights to basically a repeater. So it just basically kind of strengthens the signal because you're kind of going past that 10-meter range. We can adjust the intensity, the brightness of the light in increments of 1%, all the way from 0 all the way up to 100. So 1%. We do also have at the back of the light that we can kind of just simply go between 25, 50, 75 and 100% with just simply pressing the button. So if you don't want to scroll, you want to just kind of jump between 25, 50, 75 and 100, you can just tap one of the buttons there onto the back of the light, and it's going to jump through all of those settings, those percentages for you. So it's just kind of easy to get where you want. And this light is being powered via a USB-C cable, and the adapter and the cable is all included, which I have right over here with me. This is the little plug that's kind of going into the wall, this little base over here, and at the other end of this we do have the USB-C cable, which is going to be going into the back of the light. So I might as well go ahead and do that right now. So I just plugged it in at the back of the light. This end right here, I'm just going to go ahead and plug it into my extension cord. A few things also that I wanted to share with you guys as far as the specs. This light has a Cri rating of 97, which is fantastic. That is really high. So that basically means that the lighting that it's going to be giving off is going to be real and natural and very accurate. So 97 Cri rating is just fantastic. I will mention this Bowens Mount here that we do have here on the front. So again, we have 2 parts to it. We have the Bowens Mount reflector, and we also have the Bowens adapter right here. So this Bowens adapter is just going to simply click and mount onto the light housing itself, and the reflector is going to be mounted onto there, right onto the Bowens adapter. So it is pretty straightforward. It is easy to use. As you see the little locking mechanism over here onto the left hand side of the light, I'm just going to go ahead and push it back and rotate it and go ahead and take off the reflector. It's literally that simple. And you guys want to have a closer look at the Bowens Mount adapter over here, it's right over here, and you can simply just take it off by pulling it off just like that, or clicking it back in. So that's the way it works. You just get the small little tiny reflector. You can just line up the little Bowens Mount section, and there you go. Now it's on there nice and easy. So I can go ahead and put this on the light. and just push it back until you kind of hear it snap in place, and bang, now we're good to go. And if you don't have the Bowens Mount reflector on there, we might need some protection, but that's all good because we do have included with the kit this little plastic piece that just kind of slides over the LED itself. I might as well show you guys that how it's done. So let me just take this off. I just slide it off like that. This is a little protector, and this is how it came right out of the box. Slide it in just like that. And now if I want to carry it around in my case that comes included, again, this is the Colbor case that comes with the kit. We have enough space to kind of simply put the light, the reflector, our charging cables, and whatever other accessories that we may need here at the top. But overall, this case is very handy, and it does look very familiar from Colbor CL100 LED light in their previous model. It looks very similar. This one just looks a little bit smaller and more compact. Again, it does come with the strap. I'm definitely going to be keeping the light in here to protect it when I'm going to be traveling, so I'm happy that it does come with a nice little carrying case. I say we go ahead and just kind of turn around the light over here so you guys can get a better idea on what it looks like. Again, we got the little logo here, Colbor CL60. We got this little LED, or should I just say display? I'm not really sure exactly what kind of display it is, maybe OLED or whatnot, but these are the little toggles that we have at the back of the light. We have two of them. They act as a scroll up and down, and they also act by pushing it in as well, so if you want to select a setting for an example. So we do have here on the right hand side the power button that we're just going to simply hold it down for a few seconds, it's going to turn on, or hold it down for a few seconds and it will turn off. Next to that, right above it, we do have the CCT button right here that's going to allow us to adjust the color spectrum from 2700 all the way up to 6500. Next to that, we have the effect mode, EFF. You can just go ahead and press that, and now we can use these dials here to select the effect. And right next to that, we have the rate. So once you are in the effect mode, for an example, if you're in the lightning or the flash or the welding or the faulty bulb, whatever different effects that are preset in here, if you want to change the rate on how fast it flickers or how often or the spacing in between, that is what the rate is going to be doing for you guys. So next to that, we do have the set button, which is basically going to allow us to go into the menu, the settings, and we can kind of just scroll through there and see what options that we have. For an example, now that we are familiar in general with the back of the light, I will mention here at the bottom of the light, the mount itself is made out of metal, and I'm just super impressed with that because it's definitely going to need a metal base, a metal mount here onto your light stand, because these lights are designed to add additional lights to them. So I can imagine the top here with all these lights, up to 10 lights being mounted together, is probably going to be pretty heavy. If I remember correctly, just the light itself, it's made out of aluminum, and it weighs approximately 550 grams. The base, the little mount here at the bottom, the mount here at the bottom of the light, which again is made out of metal, is approximately 160 grams. So that is the weight of it. It's very compact and it is lightweight, but again, the fact that we have a metal mount base here is going to be very much needed when we go ahead and mount additional lights to that. So you might be asking yourself, how do these lights actually mount to each other if we want to add additional lights? Well, I don't have one exactly to show you, but I can point to you where it's going to be mounted on. So you can see these little grooves here on the left hand side of the light. We also have a groove here, which is a female groove on the top of the light, and we also have another male groove over here on the right hand side of the light. And basically what that's going to do is get the other light, slide it on, it's going to click in place, and away you go. Now you mounted it. So again, we can mount it on the left, the top, and the right. So I will mention at the bottom of the light there also is a female groove, which is going to allow us, or which I've currently taken advantage of right now, is mount the actual light base itself to the light. So it's not permanently fixed to there. It basically disassembles nice and easy and quickly. And what I've done is just basically lined it up, pushed it in, adjusted it to where I wanted it to be, and tightened it up. So it's very straightforward. Let me go ahead and show you. If you just loosen this little knob over here, and if I wanted to, I can just slide off the light, as you see right over there, and it just simply gets mounted right over here at the bottom of the light. And it's as simple as that. So line them up from the back of the light, slide it in. Again, you can slide it back, you can slide it forward, And I'm gonna say that's probably going to be an advantage depending on if you have, if you want to use this light with maybe like a soft box or an umbrella, or you might have some weight in the front. You can kind of basically adjust the weight a little bit. Maybe you need a little bit more weight on the back because you have a lot of weight on the front. So you can kind of fine tune that a little bit as you just slide it forward or back. So right now, just the one light, I just have it positioned in the middle at the bottom and just tightening them up right there, and it's on there nice and solid. So I'm very happy with that design. It's very cool. It's not that it's permanently fixed on the bottom of the light. It easily comes apart and it easily connects as well. We can adjust the angle. We can just loosen this handle right here, and as you can see, I can adjust the angle to whatever I like. Let's just have a quick peek here at the technical information here, some of the specs. Oh, so the beam angle of the light. So when the reflector is on, the angle is going to be approximately 15 degrees. So it's going to be a little bit more spotlight, a little bit more focused in one kind of area. If we do go ahead and take the reflector off, now we're going to have an angle of approximately 120 degrees, so much wider. So having the reflector on is probably actually going to increase the brightness, the intensity of the light, because it's going to be more focused at that 15-degree angle versus the 120-degree angle when the reflector is off. So let's go ahead and briefly talk about the internal fan of the CL60. Right out of the box, the CL60, the setting for the fan is set to smart, which is basically an automatic fan setting. As the light needs more fan, I guess it's just going to increase the fan to cool it down. And if it's not that bright and the light, you only have it to maybe, I guess, 5, 10, 20, 30%, the light is not going to be running that hot. So the fan can just do its thing and operate as it needs to. We do have a setting that we can change within the menu, which is called the quiet mode for the fan. And obviously that's probably just going to turn off the fan completely, or maybe just kind of have it super silent. I just been leaving it by default on the smart setting. I believe that's probably just my best bet until I really come in that situation. If the fans are really making too much of a noise, I'll just put it on quiet, and hopefully that resolves my issue if it's going to be too loud for my audio and my video or whatever the case may be. But overall, I've been using it on the smart setting, and I believe that's probably the best setting to keep it at. I will mention though, just talking about the fan, on the display screen here at the back of the light, as I was going through the menu, I haven't seen it yet to be displayed on the display screen, but the menu tells us that there's a little symbol in regards to the temperature of the light. So if the light becomes too hot, we are going to have that symbol be displayed on the back of the light. I haven't experienced it yet, but I really do appreciate that they've added a symbol for the light, basically protecting it from the heat, from overheating. So let's briefly talk about the lighting effects that we have preset on the CL60. Again, I don't have them all memorized. I know a few of them off by heart, but I'm just going to go ahead and read them right here off the menu. So we do have the fire effect. We do have the CCT chase, which basically just going to kind of rotate from the warmer temperature to the cooler temperature. And again, you can change the rate, the speed of that fluctuation with those settings if you need to. We do have the pulsing. We do have the TV setting or the effects. We do have the explosion effect. We got the faulty bulb effect. We got the welding effect as well. We got the strobe. We got the lightning and the SOS. So there's quite a bit of effects built in. All right, guys. So it looks like it's that time that I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts and opinion and review of the CL60. Just to remind you guys, I've only owned this light now for approximately a week, but my first impressions and use of this light, I've been very impressed. Right off the bat, I'm happy with the aluminum alloy housing of the light. It feels like it's well built. It does feel like it's also well designed within the menu and the settings and the Bowens mount. It kind of has everything that we need right out of the box, such as the cables, the light, the mount, and we also have the carrying bag, and the manual is easy to read, and it just kind of gives us all the instructions that we need. So again, the color spectrum that we can adjust is fantastic because it's going to be nice and warm color all the way to a nice cool color. So I'm happy with that range. The brightness is super powerful. Again, only 60 watts, but it is an LED. I'm happy with the fan design, that in fact that we can kind of just keep it on smart mode and not really have to worry about the fan. But if we need to lower the fan noise, we do have that quiet mode option. The USB-C input for powering is fantastic. I'm excited to use this light with my V-mount battery in the next few days once that cable comes in. The 97 CRI rating is just fantastic. The fact that we have that color rendering index with this light, and again, for the budget friendly, is just fantastic to have those kind of ratings, and the brightness and the control that we have along with the app. How can you forget about the app control? The Colbor Studio app is just easy to use. I connected it via the Bluetooth. I scanned the QR code in the owner's manual here, and after a few times of just some trial and error, I was able to get the app to connect, and it was very easy to use. I'm gonna say that I'm pleased. I'm happy with this light. There's a few things that I've just listed for you guys, and how can you not mention that cool feature, the fact that we can gang up a bunch of these lights together all to be one big light source, and again that it has the metal mount which just feels nice and solid. So overall, there's lots of things to like about the CL60, along with the budget and all the features that are included. So I'm impressed with it. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys learned something throughout this video. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video. If you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like, put on the notifications. You guys already know what to do, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.